Hello. Listen, I hope you're enjoying this.
Action.
Aye, action. Two Davies on the 21st of 8th, 2025. We'll see who's in, shall we?
Yes.
Eddie, Robert the Bruce, Spanner Mac, Ginger Giraffes. Hi, Gingers. Hope you're surviving out there in America. They tell me you're now $9 for Costa coffee. Fuck's sake. That's about the same as here. A fiver. Hey, Comrades in. Desiree's in. Chris Fisher's in. Who else we got?
Oh.
Eddie, Barbara, June, Peter. That's me just about the top. No doubt it'll be more by the time I get to home. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Ace Ninja. Hi, wee bub. Jim Suralba. Lorna Shields. Hi, Gordon. How are you? Hope you're keeping busy. Oh, I'll tell you what's changed, David. Mind I used to hit the go button with 5 seconds out.
Aye.
Doesn't let me hit the go button until it goes bang on time now. That's a wee change. Anyway.
Ginger's is actually saying she got up at 4:10. She didn't manage to get back to sleep again. I'm with you on that one, Pete.
Ginger doesn't drink coffee. But his stress is through the roof. Aye, Donny will do that to you, Hen. Donny will do that to you, that's for sure. Right, David, we may as well go on with some of the nonsense. The silly season's still in full swing. And of course, the Parliament doesn't open back up again to the 1st of September. So we've got another couple of weeks of this nonsense to put up with. So, this week's Douches has to do with school uniforms. What do you make of that?
We're going to make the whole programme out of school uniforms. How's about that?
Oh, the little darlings are back at school, David. We must talk about the little darlings. They're back at school. And apparently, naughty Scottish Government and local authorities, because
Right.
there seems to be a
Get on
problem.
with it. We've got other things to discuss. Come on, away.
Apparently, there seems to be a problem in getting school uniform grants to the low paid. Now, the problem seems to be that the local authorities are all signed up to the Scottish Government's a living wage schemes, but they set poverty low income at 850 quid. But because all the local government employees are on Scottish Government living wage, they don't qualify. So there's a whole load of under low paid people don't qualify. And then you get people on universal credit that need 64 hours a month, 16 hours a week. And if they're with an accredited Scottish Government approved company, they're on 1250 and all, taking them at 933 a month, so they don't qualify. But the big problem here seems to be what is a low wage. Most of the Scottish local authorities class that as £850 a month for your own universal credit.
As far as I can see, it's certain local authorities taking the piss.
Well, it seems to be the case because 4 local authorities set low wage at 1,800 quid.
Right, lads and lasses, and I'm not talking about our viewers. If there's any councillors that are listening from one of these scallywag blooming local authorities, people need to put their kids into these school uniforms. Why is that? It's already, we've argued this over and over again. If a child is in school uniform, they're not dressed up in the latest blowing trainers, they're not dressed up in the latest blowing shell suit or whatever they're going to wear, right? And at the end of the day, it's a case of make them all the same, right?
Get away with stigma.
And these people need that. Simple as that. So, never mind your latest holiday to go and check out a new type of concrete that's produced in Italy with your mates and the councillors. Get the people paid.
Well, as I say, the problem seems to be that there's disparity right across the councils on what a low wage is. Now, 4 out of 32 class of low wage is £1,800 per month and below. The rest of them, the other 28, all set it at £850 and
Well,
below.
£1,800 is a low wage.
800,
£800 is unlivable.
but you've got to remember that that's £850 coming from active employment. The wages actually made up by universal credit. You know that wheeze that fucking Tony Blair foisted upon
Yes,
us.
Tony Blair and Gordon Brown.
And Gordon Brown.
Tony Blair on his own, it was Gordon Brown as well.
Yeah,
That fucking idiot, right?
biggest heist in UK history.
I saved the world. Did he fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, as I say, what we need here, David, is the Scottish Government to step in and say 1,500 quid's a low wage per month. Anybody below that gets a grant.
Yeah.
You know, it needs to be standardised across Scotland, across all the council areas, because the poorest are missing out here.
Yeah.
And that's not on. The councils are basically putting a barrier in the way the poorest people in society getting help that's freely there from the Scottish Government.
And everybody thought you were going to start discussing ties and badges and blazers and things like that. Ah, there you go. We made it interesting for you. Showed what a share of shite at some local authorities. Some local authorities are allowing it. They're looking at it the right way, and those ones will go, okay, fair enough. Catch you next time.
Aye.
Get you next time, right? But seriously, see these ones that are saying that the lowest wage starts at 800. No, that's.
Thank you, comrade.
Oh.
Now, what we really need, folks, is for Jenny to pick her bloody ears up and pay attention here. So, Jenny Gilraith,
Yes.
Education Secretary here in Scotland. Sort
Yes.
this plan out. Keyboard warriors, get Jenny's email address. Tell her to get this set at about 1,500 quid.
That was Jenny Gilraith. You didn't hear us properly. It was Jenny from the block, Jenny Gilraith. All right.
Aye, don't send it to Jenny Ellis. That's naked. She's a historian. That's fancy Scottish history. Send your email to Jenny Gilraith.
Jenny Gilraith needs to sort it out. She needs to get on to each one of these blown councils and say, right, you're going to pass these through. Simple as that.
She needs to put a bill before the Parliament to standardise what is to be considered by local authorities a low income.
Yeah. Jenny Gilraith, that was. Get writing, guys. Find her email address off the Scottish website, Scottish Parliament website. And she's there, and it's like, just get it in. And after she's got like maybe 1,000 letters pumped into her, she'll get the message. Don't worry.
I see Ross Greer's having a full tilt at trying to win a spot on the Green Party leadership, eh?
He said, I'm going to pick a fight, just like Mel Gibson did in that movie. It was oh no, that's a different movie. Right, sorry.
Anyway, what is it wee Ross is saying? He's launching a separate independence route, or route to independence. And what is it he wants to do, David?
Well,
pick a
fight. He's wanting this to be, can I say, things that are devolved and things that are reserved. He's wanting us to sort of like
go into the grey areas.
Get into the grey areas. That's it.
Get into grey areas and pick a fight with them. Keep them tied up in the courts forever. Cripple their parliament.
Yeah.
So they ask us to fuck off.
They won't. I've got news for that. See if anybody thinks that, right? We'll do something that'll make, we haven't got time for it. Scotland, off you go. No chance.
Aye.
See, it basically, seriously, David, this is what it comes down to. It basically is down to how much money Scotland's responsible for bringing into the rest of the UK.
Yes.
And if the people of England don't know, because they still think we're all subsidy junkies, right? Okay. And at the end of the day, it's like the people that's in Parliament, they're sat there. The first day, they're told, by the way, you're going to find out that Scotland is actually minted. Don't say a word. Shh. It's something we all keep quiet about. And if SNP stand up, we just all laugh. Ha 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 ha. Right? Okay. So
Aye.
there you go. Right?
But it's the most watched video on our channel, and that is The Big Lie's Dead.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
put it out there.
I know. Yeah.
Right, I guess we better move on. Nicola Sturgeon's really stirring up the fucking presses, you know.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, it's like Presser. If you imagine, had she released that book at another time of the year,
Aye,
she wouldn't have got as much airplay as she did, right? It's
aye,
the fact that the parliaments are out, they're all out on their jollies, like fishing holidays and all this, little David Lammy getting done for not getting a fishing
license.
license, whatever. And they've picked up on Nicholas. Oh, she's wrote a book. Let's find what's in the book. Oh, she said, what?
Aye.
So
Well,
what
this thing is upset the
say? What did
UK.
you say that's of interest, David?
Oh, she said they a natural instinct drive her towards Irish reunification.
Oh, imagine that. She had an opinion of her own. Oh my goodness me. What shall we do?
The state nearly the chicken. There you go. Never mind an egg. Anyway, the state's no chuffed with her. Not in the slightest. And she's really upsetting everybody apparently because of this book. You know, I wasn't going to bother, but I think I'm going to. I'm going to order it.
Um, I'll maybe get the Kindle version. That's it. I'm not going to get the actual book.
Oh no, I want the paper. I want the hardback version. Same as I have with
Aye.
Ali.
So you'd sit at the side there, like, just Kindle version. That's all it's
Aye,
needed.
anyway. Right, so Nicola's really, really ripping up the press. She's taking up an awful lot of airtime now, and she
Do
is
you,
upset every
do you
fucker.
know, do you know what Elon Musk is doing? He's one of his companies. He does the SpaceX and Tesla and all that stuff. But he's got another company, another technology company, and what it's doing is it's developing an interface chip for the human brain,
Aye, I've heard about this, aye.
right? Uh, where effectively you really want this,
No.
not, and effectively it'll tie your brain up with a computer.
Do you
Yeah.
want the red or the blue pill?
Yeah. So you can imagine the kids are going to go, what, playing Fortnite or Grand Theft Auto in our brains? Oh yeah, give some of that.
Robert's reading the book, he says it's quite good.
Right. No, what I was going to say was at that point you'll be able to go, I need to download this on Kindle into my brain.
At that point, we're in the Matrix.
How do you know we're not already there?
Hey, I definitely know I'm not there because I turn all the tech off when I go out at night.
This is part of the program to make you feel safe.
What I will tell you, David, is since Sarah and I decided we were going to buy a dishwasher, I've been bombarded with adverts even though what I bought the fucking thing.
Aye. You noticed that as well?
Aye.
Leslie mentioned you wanted a new suitcase for the old man up the road, right? The farmer. And all of a sudden, we saw these blooming ads for rolly suitcases or what blooming heck, you know. And we've had that over and over and over and over. And what we do now is a bit of a joke. We go, oh, cars running it. Well, on the latest Rolls Royce, like, it didn't pick up on that one.
Ah, well. Hey,
Well,
do your income, David.
Up Rolls Royces for it, but it didn't.
Nah, I already knew your income. If you just been speaking about something up to 40 grand that they're throwing you adverts for, obviously.
No, listen to that.
Right, we better move on. And as Sarwar's not having a good time, is he?
Oh no.
Last week, David Graham, a Fife Labour councillor, is banged up for 27 weeks for diddling with children.
Yes.
This week, one of his MSPs has been charged with hoarding indecent pictures of children. Oof, what do you make of that?
Is it something to do with the right wing mindset? Because, I mean, don't forget, Labour have gone from being mildly left wing to being right wing.
Aye.
They've taken the journey via Tony Blair and Gordon Brown to eventually become right wing. And then eventually, when Starmer came in, it was all the way across the right wing, right? So at the end of the day, is it something to do with that?
Well, it might well be, David, because it's the right wing that's always shouting the loudest about things like Asian rape gangs and things like that. You know what I mean?
That's called projection. That's called projection, and you know, like the you know, tricksologists, you know, people that look at your brain, they go, "That's projection." That is.
Well, there you go. Anyway, they say Colin Smythe.
So, so when you call me an inhabitant of rabbit holes, right?
That's
That's
projection.
just protection on your part, because in actual fact, you're the one that's down the fucking rabbit hole. There you
Oh,
go.
that one is you're the light and I'm looking up, am I? Could be one of these fucking ones, isn't it? Right, anyway, Colin Smith of the South of Scotland region has been charged with having indecent images of children. The 52-year-old father of two said he was shocked.
Well,
Did somebody else put them on his fucking device?
no, but it's chilling that we've got people that are making decisions for our country in a position like that. I mean, you know, that's above reproach. Anybody that's in public eye and has to make decisions for the rest of us out here in Civvy Street, right? They have to be above reproach.
Yes.
And I would make it whereby if you get caught doing something like that, A, you lose your position, and B, you go to jail for like 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is, right?
Now, Comrie makes no Comrie, Robert the Bruce, sorry, put a rank comment up. He makes a good point. If that was an SNP, MSP, or MP, it would be all over the newspapers and the news channels. As I
Yes.
pointed out this morning, David, 3 of the 4 big hitters here in Scotland made no mention of it except for maybe as a small byline.
That's
The
right.
BBC dropped it after about 7 o'clock this morning.
Well, they've done that a lot of times in the past. What
Yep.
they do is, if you listen to, if you wake up that early, right, you'll hear that when BBC Radio Scotland come on first, and they generally have the news and a bit of a chat, and
Yep.
it's all the real stuff that's taking place
Yep.
right now, right? Then after that, it all goes in another direction,
Yes.
goes away.
That time the populations woke up.
That's right. Yeah.
That is quite interesting. But as I say, the man said he was shocked. How could he be shocked? It was him that had the images. He must have known he
Exactly.
had.
He was shocked that he got caught. That's what it is.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
So
I mean, you know, people like that, it's like they're convinced that they're never ever going to get caught, and all of a sudden they get caught and they're shocked.
no, as I say, I think maybe there might be that power privilege and patronage there and all. Because he was a unionist, MSP was expected to be left alone by the state.
Yeah.
Maybe having a bit of that in there, you know what I mean? I'm part of the club, they'll no touch me.
Yeah.
You know, there might have been a bit of that in him.
Yeah.
But as I say, it's not going to help Sarwar's case anyway, is it?
Well, they're all still in their heads singing that Labour song now. Ah, you won't touch me, I'm part of the union. You won't touch me, I'm part of the union. Remember that? Remember that?
Yes, I do, aye. It was back in the 70s before Maggie took a big fucking pickaxe handle to it.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
I,
Right.
I lived in one of the areas and I couldn't believe my eyes. The police would actually get up to such things.
Actually, it wasn't the police, it was soldiers wearing police outfits.
I appreciate them now, but at the time, to me, it was police.
That's why when you look at all the images from back in the day with the mine, what they called the miners' rights, it wasn't, it was the clubbing of the miners by the soldiers. But if you see the police uniforms and all the pictures back, and you go back and research this, folks, you won't see an epaulet number on a single uniform. That's because they were just soldiers in uniforms that were lying mothballed somewhere they could get their horns on.
Just on that, does that mean then, when I look back at the pictures of the forensic tent at the front of Nicholas Sturgeon's house, they've got no plate numbers there?
Well, they were for the Met or Scotland Yard, so
Are you sure they weren't soldiers, David? I mean, if they've done it before, modus operandi, I think the police call it, right? Is it possible it was soldiers that did that as well?
Let me address this one for Ice Ninja. No, Ice Ninja. We all agree there should be by-elections when somebody walks forward and changes party for the one they were elected under. We all agree that. But that's not how it works. You're free to walk before and hold your seat, unfortunately. So a Labour MSP just joined Reform. Wow.
Yeah.
So Star Wars definitely not having a good time, is he?
Well, I think Reform you've got to look at from the point of view of the Reform councillor joined in on the protests at Falkirk, right? Along with the knuckle draggers, right? So what that says to you is, if you give your vote to Reform, you effectively are lining up with those that are racist, the party that is going to destroy your NHS. They're fascist, right? So at the end of the day, it's like, what are you doing giving a vote to Reform? Who in Scotland is stupid enough to give a vote to Reform?
Well, according to the way it's polling, David, 17% of them are stupid enough.
Yes, exactly. Don't you think it's time we actually spoke to some of these people?
Hey,
we need
Reggie, when it comes to Homeland Security here in the UK, it would be MI5. So if the ones with the epaulet badges were from the intelligence services outside Nicholas' house, it would have been MI5. Okay.
Yeah, MI5, that's right. MI5 internal, MI6 external.
Yeah, Advance is a new party which is trying to give Reform a run for its money. Advance UK. That's a new party. Right,
it's not the Roman Raisin Party.
No. But we're talking about parties. Other members are doing except for Roman Raisin Reform.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I was going to phone up Jeremy Corbyn and say, I've got a great name for you. David, fuck off.
Since 2021, 92% of Reform's funding has come from big oil companies. I really wouldn't know. I would need to research it, Comrie. I wouldn't know. I don't pay that much attention to Reform because my knuckles don't reach that far to the ground. To be honest with you. Right, move on. Police Scotland's Chief Inspector of the Constabulary wants...
Whoa. I think, in actual fact, I seem to remember that Reform were going to get £100 million worth, 100 million US dollars worth of funding from Elon Musk.
Only if they made Richard Lowe the boss and get rid of Nigel Farage. That didn't happen. Richard Lowe
didn't come till later on.
Well, let's see what happens, eh? Anyway, let's move on. Police Scotland's Chief Inspector of Constabulary, Craig Naylor, wants a similar scheme put in place by the Scottish Government as they have in England and Wales, where process of crimes monies go straight to police. At this point in time, apparently the police here in Scotland have got to apply to the Crown Office to get some of that money if they want it.
Well, I don't forget also, our police have to pay VAT on everything they buy, whereas all the other police forces are exempt. Yeah. And similarly, fire brigade, the same.
Yep, and ambulance.
And ambulance as well. So it means that it costs us more we've got an additional tax we pay jointly and severally that goes down to London, right? So it's not just those that go down there, it's also the VAT that our lads and lasses and the police and the fire brigade and the ambulance service have to pay.
They don't have to
And
pay it at all.
this needs sorting out. The best and quickest way to sort it out is fuck them. Let's become independent, guys. What do you think? Shall we go do that?
I think we'll get back on track then. Anyway, how it works at the moment, David, is the money for process crime Scotland goes to the Treasury, the Crown, and if Police Scotland want some of that money, they've got to ask the Crown for it. Now, what they want the Scottish Government to do is get into one of the grey areas that Ross Greer's talking about and just pass legislation to introduce a scheme the same as they have in England and Wales.
The moment I would have a problem with that because at the moment we've got a lot of situations whereby people are trying to gerrymander a situation whereby the law is the same in Scotland as it is in England, right?
Yes.
I want it to be different, but still achieve what we want it to achieve, right? Best way is let's just go for independence, guys. End of story. It's nice and easy. Time for independence, independence, independence.
Tell you what then, get your arse along the Holyrood, get yourself elected, and stand up and tell us the route.
Kind of walk, Dave.
Oh, you can.
A wee bit.
A wee bit more practice and you'll be doing a wee bit better. Now, as I say, it is a bit of a grey area. Could it be done? Could the Crown and the Treasury be bypassed and that money kept in Scotland? Well, one of the things about the legal system here in Scotland is all the monies that are raised through courts and crime go to the Treasury.
Yeah, but that still requires someone within Scotland at each of the sheriff courts or wherever the fines are paid to administer that. To actually effectively take all the checks and whatever payments and they go to the bank. And from the bank they go to the Treasury. End of story. Yep. Right? It needs for that the people to be naughty. People to be naughty.
But these people just don't pay their fucking fines. But that, of course, as you know, would shut down the legal system because how it works is all the fines in Scotland are paid to the Treasury, 10% of it goes back to run the courts. So there could be multi-millions of pounds raised in Scotland in fines and so on each year.
The problem is with certain fines, if you don't pay them, you end up in prison.
Aye.
So, but the thing is, so yet again, you've got a situation whereby if you send too many people to prison, then there ain't enough prisons.
And Scott Brian, what do we think about the idea of universal bus travel for everybody? With no cost here, I think it would pay for itself in the long run.
Yeah, brilliant. Bring it on.
Pay for itself in the long run. Anyway, it's a grey area. Can the Scottish Government legislate that way? I think the Treasury would be up for a fight.
Yeah.
Because it is all about control from Westminster, David.
Yeah.
So the Chief Inspector of Constabulary here in Scotland can want all he wants unless he can convince Westminster and the Treasury to allow it to happen. Ain't gonna,
We really do have. We're a crunch situation now, whereby the only way that we can possibly get on is through being disobedient. And I think it's a fiduciary duty for anybody that wants this country to be independent to figure out their own particular little way of being disobedient.
Fair dues. Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on. You were saying something about a freedom of information request for
Yeah.
Rachel Reid minutes
Yeah.
with Jim Radcliffe.
Yeah. Basically, she had a meeting with Jim Ratcliffe, and a freedom of information request went to see whether Greensmouth was discussed,
Was this
because
the one right before Grangemouth shot, or the one a couple of weeks after it?
it was a one. As far as I can tell, it was one was done at the time that Greensmouth was
Right,
closing,
so the one just a week before it, aye.
and it wasn't mentioned. So, in other words, they had a nice meeting. They probably discussed what was on telly the night before. Jim Ratcliffe maybe went to see a movie, and he discussed with Rachel exactly what movie it was. Oh, that's all right. I'll let you go and see that one. No,
I
that's all
think
right.
they pick up a cheque for 500 million quid that's been given to them to redevelop Trafford Park.
Exactly right. Now that is something you go, wait a minute. That football team aren't doing awfully well at the moment, are they?
Now, yeah, I
So
never said there wasn't a route.
so
There's somebody else
therefore,
there, is
therefore, you have to say, is it good money well spent? No, it isn't really.
That was a good bung for him. Shut down Grangemouth, and here's 500 million for your football club. Rising to a billion, just in case things get out of hand. And of course, he was given 600 million to build a new refinery in Belgium. You know, so not very interesting stuff. Are you playing with
I
that
think,
with
I think, I think because they found money for the nuclear power stations, they found money for the Prax
refinery?
refinery. Yep, so keep that open, right? The Scunthorpe, the metalworks, the steelworks that went on. It's like that got nationalised, right? Then when Scotland wants something, are these yours? I think people in Scotland should be fully aware of what those in Westminster think of us.
Yeah,
Or or is it fully expected that Scotland is going to become independent within
yes,
the next couple of
it is.
years? And they're reacting as per that. Well, if Scotland wants anything, no. The
It
answer
is,
is
as was said before, it is a crash and burn situation for them the way out the door.
yeah,
As you know, David, in the days of the old empire, what did they would just line up all the young men and kill
yeah,
them on the way out the door. But they can't do that these days, so what they've got to do is wreck the economy.
yeah,
Unfortunately for them, if they do that, they bankrupt their own country at the same time.
yeah.
Because
Well, yeah, it's like a low officer. Yeah, I'll just put my hands up, make it easy for you, right? But seriously, disobedience is you got to find your own little personal way of being disobedient, making us a hard pill to swallow.
aye. Oh,
At
that's fine, Larry.
the moment, at the moment we're an easy pill to swallow, and that we've got to change that.
Well, Colm Ray made a good point in the comments. Says they did the same with Port Talbot. Sat in their horns, let it go down. Whereas when it came to Scunthorpe, all of a sudden the public purse was open.
That's right. Yeah,
Welsh steel, Scottish steel was allowed to go to fuck. English steel must be saved at all costs. Prax refinery must be saved at all costs. You know,
but
nonsense.
I mean, I've listened over the past few weeks at people sort of like crying, basically crying about the situation of the cables being put in between Scotland and England, right? 600 million being given to Scottish Power for putting the extra cables in to bolster the amount of power that's coming off wind turbines and all this stuff, right? Don't worry about it. Seriously, let them get ahead because that's our route to market. At some point, they're going to have to try and live with the two nuclear power stations they've got, right? The two big nuclear power stations. Are they going to get completed? I don't know. I'll tell you what, sometime they're going to be looking at us and going, power, give us power.
they're
And then,
already doing that.
yeah, I know, but once we're independent, it's a case of, all right, okay. Well, it's all privately owned companies, so you do a deal with them, but we're going to tax them to fucking hell.
Don't worry about
And
it.
you know fine well that you're going to end up paying for that tax.
But what we do know, David, is Scottish Power and Scottish Southern Electric, who own the grid here in Scotland,
Yeah,
they already put meters on what goes south.
yeah. Oh,
And
don't worry. I've got a meter in my toolbox there. You know, one of these clamp meters, right? And that'll tell us exactly what's going down there. Wicked. I don't think that's a
anyway,
bit.
if they don't pay their bill, I've got a big fucking off switch under my kitchen sink. There you go. So that's Rachel and Jim Radcliffe out the road. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Labour councils in England to go to court to close asylum hotels, as asylum hotel court ruling leaves ministers in turmoil. What to do with 32,059 people who are about to be evicted?
It's a unconscionable situation. It really is. You've got these people that are escaping from horrendous. I don't care whether it's just 1 in 10 out of the people that come across here on the boats have actually been in a bad situation. That one person that's coming across,
8 and 10
they
of them.
need protecting. They need protecting.
It's 8 and 10 of them.
Yeah, well, fine.
88% of asylum claims are passed.
Stay and they're given right to stay, right?
Yep.
They just stay. No, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, for these knuckle draggers to get their way and bully these poor people out of the only, what are you going to keep them? You're going to point them in the direction of Iona in Scotland and say, there's some blacks and green tents for you, so you live under that, right? It's ridiculous.
Concentration camps, isn't it? That's what comes next.
Yeah.
The milk of human kindness is certainly flowing down that road. And the scum seems to rise to the top. Always. Even in local authorities. I mean, here you've got 39,000, 32,059 people who have come here seeking shelter, seeking safety, seeking asylum. And this is how they're being treated.
Yeah, look, we discussed this. We discussed a similar situation just the other day there.
Aye.
Do you remember we talked about people that were coming for medical jobs in
Yes.
Scottish NHS? And they had to send all their passport and all the rest of it through the Foreign Office, right? And effectively, what's happened, or the Home Office, sorry, and they were saying, we've actually got a job for you in Scunthorpe and Cleethorpes and Hull and wherever, right? It's actually happening is this is wrong. We're doing this basically to hurt Scotland. Something like that, because we do things that blooming right. But I tell you what, best idea is see all them people that that come across the boats. Take a dive out, get up to Scotland, and we'll hide us all. How's with that? We'll hide you. The Home Office will never know you're there. Something like that. We'll just hide you all.
So Larry's asking about what's under the kitchen sink. Don't worry about it, Larry. It's best you don't know.
An asylum seeker. As well as what?
Let's just say it's a big off switch and leave it at that, Sir Larry. My doorway getting crashed in later, David. Right, anyway.
MI5, come out with your hands up. Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, it is outrageous, isn't it? These people have come here, the mother country, head of the Commonwealth, they've got family and connections here, and they get here and they find themselves surrounded by Union flags and hatred. You know, what sort of environment? Sanctuary? That's no sanctuary, that's mental fucking torture.
I have to say to the people of Scotland, do we want to be part of this?
No,
Do we want to see people treated like this?
no. Your fan club's asking for you, Charlie. um, anyway, let's try and get this camera sorted out again. What have I done now? That's better.
So I'm feeling seasick now.
Aye,
That ceiling needs painting.
aye, it does, David. Aye, the whole place needs
Can you
painting.
bring it down a bit?
Aye, I can't. Wait, it's this bloody cable on the back here keeps moving about. That better.
I'll send you a pair of scissors. You can just cut the cable off.
It doesn't work without the cable, David. Right, anyway, I guess we better move on. It has come to light, David, that the MOD has had over 49 separate data leaks in the past 4 years, endangering 20,000 people in Afghanistan. What do you make of that?
I would. What did we say before the show?
We would question
You,
whether it's deliberate.
you can actually ask any question you like. The question is that how many people you're looking to have killed instead of them coming here to live?
Aye, that's the question. It's how you stay. You see, if you were to make a statement that that's what they were doing, you'd end up in the clink, you'd
Yeah,
end up in the courts. But if you ask yourself,
yeah.
I wonder why these data leaks have endangered so many people, you realise that that's the amount of people who were entitled to come here
Yeah.
and seek refuge. You know,
Was that the MOD's intent? Or sorry, was the MOD being controlled from above in some way?
I don't know, but what I do know is that's bloody sloppy. 49 data leaks giving away the information of 20,000 people. That's sloppy.
Don't forget, we have in the UK a dirty tricks mob.
Aye.
That dirty tricks mob concerns the MI5 and the MI6.
Yes.
They might get up to things like this.
They might, David, but we can't speculate too much on it. We can only ask
Right?
questions.
And the question would be to each one of them: does your mommy know that you do things like this?
Of course, their mammy didn't know. It's a state secret. Deary, deary, deary. But I mean, let's think about that, David. In 4 years since we've left Afghanistan, they've basically exposed every single person who helped them.
It's too close. It's far, far too close. If they exposed maybe a tenth of them, you go, stupid bastards. But the fact that they've exposed everybody,
Aye, everybody.
the question has to be asked: when did you do it, guys?
Aye.
Why did you do it? Do you
Normally,
feel good? Do you feel good having done it? Are you knuckle draggers as well in the MOD that are racist and don't want anybody to come across to the UK, that have fought for us, have lied for us, have cheated, have planted bombs, have shot at people and all the rest of it, right? And it's like, do you really think that that's the way to go on?
no, no, really. But as I say, it's sloppy. It should never have happened. And you don't make that many mistakes. There's a pattern there.
Yeah.
And you got to ask, who was in charge of dispatches? That's going to be asked. Ah. Right, Israel starts intensive push to clear Gaza City. today, that is, this morning, Israel also turned down a ceasefire that would have seen the hostages returned and Hamas would have disarmed and disbanded. Shows you they had no intention of stopping, didn't it?
They want the land. That's it. And it's like, yeah, when you start putting it together with that, you go, these poor
They also
people.
want the resources that are in the Gaza Basin.
And I listened to an American colonel being interviewed on TV, and he was saying, "Oh, it's really hard for the IDF because the the Hamas are a really clever lot and all the rest of it, right? At the end of the day,
The specialists
it's
in
like,
urban guerrilla warfare.
no, but you have to fine what you're saying. I get it, right? But also, we're now characterizing everybody that picks up a rock or a stone or makes a silly wee bow and arrow because that's all they've got, right? As Hamas. That's Hamas, right? But that battalion, all them 800 tanks, battalion, that one person with that bow and arrow, shoot
Hold on,
them.
David. Hold on, David. We've got a dignity dropped in on us today. We've got dodgy syrup of fig. And we have the ex-MP, Michael Fabricant, in the audience. Hello, dodgy syrup of fig. Oh, dear. Anyway, also, David, it's been reported that Israel has an extreme manpower shortage.
Yeah. £64,000, £64,000, 64,000 people being conscripted at the moment by Netanyahu. He needs that final push. He needs all them people, all them women and kids and
Where
all the rest of it, right? All
David,
shot. And they need lots of people there, armed with rifles and all the rest of it, so he can make sure they shoot them enough times.
where is he recruiting these 64,000 people from?
Europe.
Correct. So, people who have been to Israel, qualified as Israeli citizens, and then left again, their kids are being conscripted into the Israeli army. Unfortunately for Netanyahu, they're all sticking two fingers up to him.
Well, I read The Merchant of Venice when I was at school, right? And it's like I quite like the character Shylock. Right? You taking a pound of flesh and all the rest of it, right? Okay. Does that make me, am I suitable to be conscripted by Netanyahu? Because I
You
read
can't.
Merchant of Venice. End of the day, it's like Netanyahu is looking for anything with a brain, two legs, and two arms that can hold a gun, point the right direction. That'll do, right? You're IDF. There you go.
Yep. Let's see. Now, as he's also got big problems at home at the moment. There's huge protests going on because he turned down this ceasefire. And of course, there's protests because he's trying to conscript Orthodox Jews. You know,
Well, we know that he lost his seats to the
I
point where I think he's one seat ahead. He's one, and on the balance of the actual parliament, he's got one seat to the good, right?
aye, right. Now, as I say, Netanyahu seems to be hanging on by his fingernails. You know, he really does. But he seems to be getting away with it. But the idea that he was going to be able to conscript all these people from across Europe, and he thought they were actually going to show up, because he flipped it.
No, yeah, you've got to look at the situation between America and Israel as being a constant track. That was like it's a train set, right? What happens is money comes from America, goes to Israel. Israel take a certain amount of money, mark up envelopes for every one of the sort of congressmen or whatever, right, that have been involved in that. That money goes back, feeds a congressman with money,
Aye,
crop
crap.
crop money, right? Okay, that means next year when it comes to more spending, it's like more money goes to Israel, and at the end of the day, it's like if you imagine that is a situation in America, and the people in America, by and large, don't understand that.
Well, listen, it's got that way here and all with the Israeli lobby.
They're
Look at that.
starting,
They
they're
hold the
starting
whole front bench of the Labour Party.
Yeah, they're starting to get the information, like from Jon Stewart, his program in America that was very, very popular, right? But we get nothing in this country. You're quite right in what you're saying, David. The Starmer and Lamy and all the rest of it, who effectively get money off the Israel lobby.
Right.
And it's like, can we have some TV programs started up whereby they're getting mentioned by name, like Jon Stewart was in America, where he's effectively saying, this is what's happening, guys.
Aye. Anyway, APAC in America seems to be taking about a pounding at the moment, actually. It seems to be a pushback against them. And
I
there seems
saw,
to be,
I
there's
saw,
becoming a
I saw more images coming from Las Vegas.
and
Las Vegas. Well, empty, absolutely empty. We're talking
David,
about
David, we know
what?
about the fact that Trump's fucked tourism. But
Yeah,
Las Vegas doesn't really make money from tourists anymore anyway. It makes it online.
yeah. No, but at the same time, don't forget
It's
Las
something that
Vegas.
we a lot of people have. What?
Las Vegas, if you imagine, it's like what they had big boxing matches, they had the people, the stars at one time, women arriving there to do concerts or whatever, right? And
The stars are still showing up. They're just in empty rooms.
yeah, empty.
Anyway, also one of the things we learned today is that the Labour Party just signed a £2 billion deal with an Israeli arms company here, the one that Palestine Action was a attack was a Limbic Systems or Limbic Systems,
Yeah.
and so there you go, folks. The Labour Party signed up a £2 billion deal with an Israeli arms company to supply training, cyber training to the military. Wow. Anyway, in light of, as we round this one up, David, as we come round the corner to the end, we've made it to the end this time. In light of Trump and Putin's talks, Putin then sticks two fingers up to Trump the way Netanyahu did last week. Because what did Putin do when we went home?
No, you carry on. Carry on
He,
with that one.
he rained fire on Ukraine with the biggest airstrikes ever launched.
Yes.
You
The,
couldn't make it up.
the summit that's supposed to take place, it's like I watched that and I watched Putin with a smile like a Cheshire cat, and I watched Trump with a face like a scalped arse.
Aye. You did see
What was
that.
that?
I had a look, David. I did go back and had a look. But it's quite funny, Netanyahu tells Trump's advisor the week before you shouldn't be going into Gaza when they tell him, no, you're not going into Gaza City. He told Trump to fuck off, stuck two fingers up him. Putin meets him at the weekend, goes straight home and opens up all hell on Ukraine. If that's no sticking two fingers up to Donny, what is? How weak does the West look right now, David? Complicit in a genocide and morally bankrupt and getting the piss ripped out of us by the Russian Premier.
Well, all I can say is that the Nobel Peace Prize, it's like one hopes that they're not so stupid as to give any mention to a certain Donald Trump.
No, let's hope not. Because really, because Obama got one, Trump will not be happy unless he gets one. He's a big man baby and wants to be the biggest man baby in the room.
Yeah.
So if Obama done better, then Trump's going to either equal or do better. Trump needs two.
Don't get me wrong. I don't like Obama because of what he did during the Indie Ref 2014.
I know that.
He was asked by Cameron to give his point of view. He said, "Well, I don't think Scotland should go their own way." And I thought, "You bastard! America had to go to war to fight to actually keep make sure they became independent, right?" And it's like you're looking at another country trying to go independent, and you say something like that. "Yeah, bastard, Obama, you're a cunt." Right? Sorry, but at the same time, I really hope that Donny doesn't end up with a Peace Prize.
No. He is coming for a state visit, but Chuck's not happy about it. Chuck doesn't like him at all.
Uh,
That
I,
matters up to either of us, you know.
I couldn't give a shit what Chuck feels about anything.
No, I mean, okay, we'll go a couple of minutes. That we just to the a story in the press today and all about the SNP taking up a green idea of dumping swearing an oath of allegiance to the
Yeah,
crown.
well, in actual fact, you look at practically every year in the SNP at one time has gone through, had to swear on the start of Bibles, all the rest of it, right? And the swear an oath to the king and country, basically, or the king, right? And it should be the
To the
swear
people.
oath to the people of the country.
Yeah.
Simple as that. All of them. And I'm talking about all the ones that would go, "Oh, no, we want to say we'll be true to the king." No, you won't. You either be true to the people or you be true to nobody. And that's which case you're out. And it's like, I assure you, it's going to come to that point sometime. It really will. And the great thing is, thinking about our independence, when it comes, are we still going to allow these bastards to have a voice in our legislature? Do you really think it's a good idea that we have Labour, Reform, Tory, and Lib Dem in the Scottish Parliament?
No,
I wouldn't.
only Scottish registered parties will be in the Scottish Parliament.
Well, they're going to have to be told. Simple as that. So why not just tell them right now? All right.
Well, anyway, Trump met Putin as an equal. No, he didn't. Putin went out and gave Trump a scalp in the arse. But that's beside the point. You made a good point there, Chris. Trump did have all the European leaders sitting like naughty schoolboys in front of him.
Yeah.
Total serfdom, as you point out, to the US empire.
And he sold them $10 billion worth of weapons, each one of them, right? And he actually sat there in front of them. And would you believe what he said? He said, "American weapons are the best in the world." So,
He said that
yeah,
about the beef and all. We don't buy that.
yeah. And he also said that America invented everything. So, I mean,
Aye, that's true.
yeah.
Figures will suck it up, to be honest with you, Reg. Right, David. Quite enjoyed that one. That was a good one. But unfortunately, we're coming to that time where I've got to go and earn a living. Way it goes.
You people at work, I don't know where I get the time these days. So, see, being retired, you don't believe. It's like the wife came to me the other day there. She said, "I've got a necklace. I've got a necklace and it's got a knot in it. Can you get a tiny wee fine chain?" And I've got these glasses that they're like jeweler's lips one, right? And it's like, I've got them like that, right? But still in all, took me half an hour of my time. I sent her an invoice. She hasn't paid it yet, but we'll see.
Aye. Okay. Right, folks, thanks very much for any kind donations you've made today. Thanks to any moderators that are on duty. Thanks for dropping in, Mr. Fabricant. Sir Larry, you got an awful lot of personas, dear boy. Honest to God. I hope you found this one interesting, folks. I hope you found it informative.
Mr. Farragon, can I ask Mr. Farragon, does he go to the same hairdressers as Boris?
No, he goes to the same one as me. And he's going, by the way, Michael Fabricant, if you get back in that parliament, he's made it clear he would actually campaign for VAT relief on syrup for pigs. So there you go. Anyway, that's enough nonsense. Folks, keep your eyes on the prize. Independence, independence, independence. That's his line. So I'll see you later.
Over it, guys. Break the rules. Disobedience. Get it done.
Email Jenny Goldruth.
Yes.
Right. Got to get this sorted. Now, see you in the morning. Aye, you, Larry the cat.
Jenny,
Right.
housing. Jenny, get no,
Email Jenny Goldruth.
education. Get her email. Seriously.
Right, catch you later, guys. Bye for now.
It's Jenny from the Hood.